Hello, YouTube fans. This is Sqaure here to Let's Play Animal Crossing. I mean, what? What? Oh, I am playing Animal Crossing, huh? But anyways, I'm just here to talk about the PlayStation 5, huh? So anyways, I just playing this game for a bit. Never been into Animal Crossing, but just want to take into it. Might as well play this one a little bit. But let me talk about a little bit of the PlayStation 5, guys. I'm skipping this generation of PlayStation. I don't care for it at all. Um, I made a rant video in a way in my other channel. I mean, talking about the shortage in a way of PlayStation 5 and how people are like, oh, I have a PS5 and you don't, ha ha ha, If you want to check that video, go ahead. The link will be in the description box, even though it's mostly it's enlightenment video. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, basically, of some of the stuff that I'm talking about in that video, then, well, watching your own risk, I guess, right? But hey, I'm making this video instead, so maybe this will be a pop-up video for any people that, oh, I don't know. What do you want me to say? Close-minded? I'll probably say something else, more less educational. There, how about that? Yeah, yeah. You know what? Yeah, there was that because some people are less educated around here, and that is fine. It's not that you're dumb or stupid. It's just that there's some things that you don't know. So, anyways, yeah, I'm not getting the PlayStation 5. To me, it's not worth it. And Sony is just not showing me that they care in a way, too. And plus, I'm looking at some of these games that are like, they're showing and everything like that for the PlayStation 5. I really don't care, to be honest. Like, you get, what, Final Fantasy 7, Miles Morales, and what, Final Fantasy 16? And other games that I probably really don't care about right now, or even if I do care about, it's probably going to be in other systems, like probably the Switch, Like, for example, The What Ends With You. You think that would be on the PlayStation 5? I think that's going to be on the Switch, guys. So, the sequel to the What Ends With You. But, I just think that it's not worth it. I'm just going to skip this generation because, in my opinion, I just don't I don't like how everything's going on with this generation of console. To be quite honest, I mean, I've already talked about the shortage of the PS5 and shit, and I don't have to go deep into that because I already made a video about it on my other channel. So there you go. Again, I'll put that link in the description box. But well, excuse me, princess. Anyways, but you can tell that's probably a reference to that. But I'm just not. Again, I'm not going to get the PS5 because it's literally Sony hasn't showed me none of that shit. All they have showed me is that they just like to spit in their customers' face. And all these video game, well, not all of these video game companies, but when you look at them and you realize what their goal is, it's just you just don't care for them anymore. You really don't. For example, like Rockstar or Square Enix, you just don't care. Do you really look? If Grand Theft Auto 5 comes out on Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out on PS5, I don't care. I'm sorry to not care for some of these big AAA games, guys. I really don't. Like, I'm starting not to give a fuck because I'm noticing that these games that we used to know and love are just terrible now. Like, you just don't care. Um, and also, what is it? With Kingdom Hearts 3, because this is mostly the bulk of the video that I want to talk about. I'm never gonna play Kingdom Hearts 3 again. I'm not. I'm never gonna play Kingdom Hearts 3 again. Um, I'm probably go back and play my save file, but I would never start over. Um, can I pick it up? Yes, I can. All right. I would never play that game again. I will play Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, Chain of Memories, Both by Sleep, 350 2 Days, Dream Job Distance, Coded. I will play all those games except for Kingdom Hearts 3 and what is it? The Kyrie game that just came out? Yeah, that's great. Kyrie's first game and you don't even fucking get to play her, So I just don't care. I just, I really don't care. Square Enix has showed me that this franchise is not for us anymore, guys. Like the true Kingdom Hearts fans and shit that really respect the franchise and really care and actually speak with the flaws and shit instead of just going with Square Enix is doing, like, oh, I just want to see what happens, man. Don't criticize it before it all ends. And then when it all ends, you complain about it because it's actually shit. And we've been saying it's shit for a while, you know? Kind of loud, the gameplay for Kingdom Hearts 3 is not even that good. It should be better than Kingdom Hearts 2, but it's not, right? Whatever, right? And I didn't get the DLC for Kingdom Hearts 3 and everything like that. I don't care for that at all. Yeah, let's just continue. I do not care for that at all. I just really don't care. Like, I can just give two shits about it, guys. I really can. Because I just don't care. I really don't fucking care. This fucking franchise that I cared about since I was a child has literally burned into dust, in a way. Some people might think that from probably Birth by Sleep and all that shit. But what really killed Kingdom Hearts is literally Kingdom Hearts 3. Right? I was talking to one of my friend, and we talked about this. I told him that, hey, I would never play Kingdom Hearts 3 again. Like, I would never start over, and I would never, like, I'll probably have the save fire and play it, but I would never go out of my way to get the ultimate Keyblade and go out of my way to play the fucking game again, you know? And he agreed with me. He was like, yeah, just with the whole, was it not the ultimate weapon part? Because I didn't tell him that. But, was it the ultimate weapon is a lot easier than Kingdom Hearts in Kingdom Hearts 2, and supposedly it's a lot easier in Kingdom Hearts 3, but I really don't care of getting it in Kingdom Hearts 3, to be quite honest. So there you go. Because the game doesn't push you of getting some stuff in that game, and I just don't care for it. I really don't. And the whole thing with this series of Kingdom Hearts, guys, what do you think? People like HMK, cynical, and what is it? Fucking what's his fucking name? Night Prince or some shit like that. I don't fucking know. Some fucking idiot that dresses like fucking freaking Noctis from Final Fantasy 15. Yeah, that should explain a lot about that YouTuber, to be quite honest. Shit. Seriously. Oh, you're criticizing that YouTuber? You know what? At this point, all these high YouTubers that plays 15, Kingdom Hearts 3, can all literally suck a dick. Literally. Because their opinion does not matter. I'm sorry. At this point, their opinion does not matter. Why? Because they have ruined, actually, they have ruined franchises. These people have actually ruined franchises in a way. Yes, Square Enix didn't have to listen to these fucking people, but they did. They listened to people that can literally don't care about the fucking franchise. It wasn't there since day one. You know? Seriously, guys. Like, this is just bullshit. If you have been in the series since day one, you should already know what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, the flaws that I'm saying here. But no, you know, everyone wants to eat this shit up. Go ahead, eat it up. But I'm not gonna freaking eat it up anymore. And I'm tired of Square Enix. And right now, I'm playing through Final Fantasy 12. And I didn't bought that from Square Enix's fucking website. I bought that shit in a fucking mom and pop store, which I'm still doing. You know, if I'm going to get a Square Enix game, might as well get it in a mom and pop store. Shit, I didn't even buy Final Fantasy 7. I got that shit for free. Yes, for free. Final Fantasy 7 Remake for free. My friend had to pay for PlayStation Plus, but I got it for free. And guess what? I deleted that shit. Yeah, how do you like them apples? I didn't fucking... only played for what? 5 minutes and I got fucking bored. It's funny because I'm playing the original and I'm not even fucking bored. Seriously. You know, I kind of criticizes the first mid-goal point of the original game, but hey, I have a new fresh take on it. Fresh eyes, basically. And, you know, it's not as bad as I thought it was as a kid. As an adult, it's a lot. It's actually, I appreciate it a lot more the mid-goal section in Final Fantasy 7, the original. So, in the remake, it just looks boring. It just looks fucking boring. And with Kingdom Hearts, it just looks terrible. Like, with this franchise right now, like, look at the mobile games with Kingdom Hearts. Do people really accept that shit? And now that Union Cross is gone and shit, people still want a Union Cross game for like consoles and shit instead of mobile. And Square, I doubt they would do it, but if they do it, hey, they will, but it's only for money, guys, at this point. You think they're doing this stuff just for the fans at this point? For crying out loud, what is it? With Square Enix has shot them in the foot multiple times. Look at Final Fantasy 13. Final Fantasy 13, some of the higher ups at Square Enix saying, even people that were making Final Fantasy 13, a lot of people didn't like Final Fantasy 13. That's fine. Me, I like it a little bit. Yes, I see its flaws and I see its problems. But at the top of the head of Square, they knew that this shit was a problem. And they knew that this shit was not good at all, whatsoever. And the fact of the matter is that they keep still having that business policy is really fucking ridiculous. Look at 15, all right? For crying out loud, someone had to get fired because freaking Nomura didn't finish the game at all, obviously, because he wanted to do other things with the game. And it's just like, what's wrong with you, dude? It's like, at one point, he wanted Final Fantasy to be a musical. And that's when the high-ups of Square Enix had to cut him out. Literally. And obviously they can't fire Nomura because he's the guy that made Kingdom Hearts, and that's another big franchise that they own. So might as well fire a guy that barely even made a franchise to begin with, right? See how sad is that shit? Seriously. So good people that wanted to make the fans happy get fired, but the people that don't want to make the fans happy stay in the business. That's how Square Enix is right now, all right? And I don't trust this company better that I can throw at them anymore, man. All right? They have spit in my face countless times. And me playing Final Fantasy 12 just proves to me that they could do it. They fucking could do it. Dragon Quest 11 tells me that they can do it. But they don't want to do it because they're lazy and they just don't care. How come they can put more effort into their Dragon Quest games than Final Fantasy? Because I'll tell you this. If they fucked up Dragon Quest, guess what? People will riot and people will hate them forever. Even the people at Enix will hate him. For crying out loud, when they were making 15, people in the company of 15 were sick and tired of 15 because, well, originally Final Fantasy Versus 13, because they was just sick of looking at it and not finishing it. So you mean to tell me, if the fans are salty about some of these games, and so is the people that are making these games in the company, what does that tell you? You still want them to make fucking crappy games, all right? Yeah, okay, that's great. That's great, you know? Like, I want you to tell some of those developers that, you know, that work their ass off and have to listen to fucking Nomura and all that shit just to fucking work with their stupid fucking mindset of storytelling and shit. Seriously, man, like, some of the stuff in Kingdom Hearts, the storytelling and enlightenment and spiritual way is smart and enlightened, but when you do characters like Kairi, that's when I draw the line. Like, do you hate Kairi? Because if you hate Kairi, that's fine, Nomura, that's fine. But when fans want you to, like, make this character pretty good and badass in a way, you just are like, nah, fuck her. She doesn't deserve it. Naminé deserves more screen time than her. And it's like, damn, Naminé is more important than fucking Kairi, and she's the Princess of Heart. You know? It just, and for crying out loud, Kairi wasn't even in her own credits in her own game. How sad is that? That is very sad. That tells you something, man. And if people ain't even like that fucking game, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I was gonna buy that game, but once I found out it was like canon and shit, I was like, why? It should have been a side thing. So, yeah, just drop it. I can't carry anymore. But it's like just leave it alone, basically. So it's just dumb. It really is. It's dumb. And this franchise, like, same thing with Final Fantasy. It has plummeted to the ground. And Square Enix is obviously, I know Square Enix cannot do that with Dragon Quest. Because, are you kidding me? I don't know what you guys think about Dragon Quest here in America, but in Japan, it's literally a fucking holiday. All right. So fucking that shit up is literally fucking Square money-wise. And Enix would just be like, fuck you. And the thing is, too, you know how people say that everything went hell when Enix and Square merged and shit? Wrong. That is 100% wrong. Because if the companies didn't merge, they would have died. They would have died. Literally, they would have died. Think about it. Enix closed down their company in the United States because Dragon Quest games weren't selling and some of their games weren't selling either. And and what is it? And Sqaure wasn't doing good financially, mainly because Spirits Within failed. Sqaure, I mean, Enix was going to join Sqaure, but they were kind of iffy with it, with the whole Spirits Within movie, Final Fantasy Spirits Within movie, and then all of a sudden Kingdom Hearts comes out, and they were like, all right, let's join, and that was it. That was literally it, you know. And I think the last game that Sqaure made that was called Squaresoft was Final Fantasy X-2, I believe. So I think that's it. I could be wrong, but correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, that's really it. If those companies didn't merge, we wouldn't see Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest anymore. And you guys got to think about that. Like, if this company was gone, would you be crying right now that, hey, would you be even begging for Final Fantasy to come back or Dragon Quest? Think about it. Think about it. You might say no. Some of you guys might say no, but I guarantee you, you won't have that in the back of your mind. Guarantee you. Because I had it in the back of my mind thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? Of all the things I said, I probably would have said that too. But like, oh, I wish Final Fantasy came back or Dragon Quest, you know? It's just the way it is. But looking at looking at Sqaure now, not Enix. To be honest, the Enix side of things of Sqaure is doing good, but the Sqaure side of it is just doing poorly, very, very poorly. And I've told myself that, hey, if Sqaure just goes down under, Enix can still survive, but only in Japan, because, like, not to say they can't survive here in America, because right now Dragon Quest is getting more of a limelight here in America, which I'm happy. Ever since Dragon Quest 11, thank God for that game. Literally, people, if you haven't played Dragon Quest 11, that game literally tells you what Final Fantasy should be. Literally, turn-based fantasy, good character, good story. That's literally what Final Fantasy games should be. But you know, Sqaure doesn't care about that anymore. All they care is about fucking flashy piece of shit, bad storytelling games. All right, I really don't care for the Devil May Cry combat system for fucking Final Fantasy 16. All right, that's the one thing I'm probably not even going to buy Final Fantasy 16 for, because I just don't care. What is this, Nier Automata? Come on, Nier can do that type of gameplay because it's different. Final Fantasy, in my opinion, like, everyone has said this ever since they dropped the turn-based system, either ATB or just regular turn-based, like Final Fantasy 1 and 2, or even 3, like the classic ones, obviously. It hasn't been the same. And we all know that. So why are people still wanting an action RPG for Final Fantasy, knowing that the hardcore fans even say that it hasn't been the same? You're dividing the fan base for the people that fucking want action RPG. And I can understand if you don't like you know, random battles and all that, because you can change that, you know, have enemies on the field and shit, you know. But I feel like some people are just salty about that too. Oh, random encounters. You know what? At this point, if you feel salty about that, then don't play RPGs. Because obviously, if you're going to play an RPG, you're going to have some random encounters. Okay, guys? So if you're going to play an RPG, you should expect that going in. Okay? And if you're playing an RPG that shows the enemies on screen, well, look at that. There's a bonus for you to play more of the game, basically, like Dragon Quest 9 and Final Fantasy, like Final Fantasy 15, I guess, or Final Fantasy 13, you know, or even Dragon Quest 11, you know, or Dragon Quest 7 on the DS, which is still, like, the Dragon Quest games are fucking awesome, believe me. But I just want to give my thoughts and my opinions on a little bit of the PlayStation, but mostly on Kingdom Hearts and Sqaure and everything like that. Because this is just how I feel with the Kingdom Hearts franchise right now, because why should I even care for the franchise anymore? You know? If you guys care for the franchise, I to be honest, I don't know what to tell you anymore. Like, if you still care about this franchise, I don't want to be rude. I don't want to get your... I don't want to get your panties in a bunch, but when you've been spit in the face countless times, especially what Square's doing in Final Fantasy 7, and you guys are like, yes, pisses me off, and it makes me not want to be a Final Fantasy fan anymore. And it makes me not want to be a Square Enix fan anymore. And it makes me not want to fucking associate myself with the Final Fantasy community anymore. Right? Seriously. I feel like the Final Fantasy community would be dead for me if you guys keep acting like that way. But the thing is, I feel like that's not the Final Fantasy community. I feel like that's just fucking people that never played a Final Fantasy in their life, then played Final Fantasy 15 or 13 and think that, oh, they're fucking hot shit. No, because those games are hot garbage, all right? Compared to 6, 9, and fucking 1. Yep, I said it. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if 1 doesn't hold up. Number 1 should be remade, in my opinion, and have a fucking party, fucking new job classes and shit. Like, you know, some of the stuff that you see, like in Bravely Default or something like that, or Final Fantasy 5, but whatever. That's just me as a fucking fan, as a person that loves this shit. But you guys will say, oh no, it's been remade countless times and fuck you, right? Okay, but yeah, you want to remake a Final Fantasy 7, right? Yep, that's what I thought. Go fuck yourself. Or Final Fantasy fucking 6 or fucking 4. Which we've been having that so many fucking goddamn times. So I think we can get something else, you know? So I'm just pissed off at the fan base and pissed off at Sqaure. So the fan base, the true fan base, you know, can thrive and care about Final Fantasy, while the fake fan base can go suck a dick and fucking fall off on the ditch with Square Enix now. Because the old Square Enix is long gone. The old Sqaure is long gone. When we already know that. We've been saying it countless times. Yes, beating a dead horse here, but at this point, if you don't see it now, then I don't know what to tell you. Like, all Square Enix really needs to change is their business practices. That's really it. That's really, really it. If they change that, this company would be a lot better, in my opinion. You know? But hey, that's just me. Tell me what you guys think. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And if you disagree with me, that's fine. But don't hate. And if you're going to hate, then I'm just going to block you or fucking take your fucking comment out. Because this video is for true hardcore Kingdom Hearts fans, freaking Final Fantasy fans. And no, I'm not talking about fanboys, all right? Fanboys are like for people that are like, oh, when Square Enix does anything terrible, they still fucking eat it up, like Final Fantasy 15 or Kingdom Hearts 3, right? And yes, at one point I did look at Kingdom Hearts 3 and I'm like, oh, I did like it. Then I thought about it more and more, and I was just like, what the fuck did they do with this game? And then the DLC came out, and then the DLC started happening, and then that's what pushed me even more, thinking that this company had no confidence of this game. And obviously, when you play the game, which obviously I did, it was literally, you know, just like Final Fantasy 15, rushed. It was rushed. These games were in development, and yet it was rushed. What the fuck, Sqaure? You mean to tell me you took 4 years, almost 10 years to make these games, and what did you do with them? Decide to rush them. You know. I even heard with even 15, it was like, oh no, they had to like, what was it, restart with 15 over and over again. So the real 15 that we got started around what, 2012, 2015? I mean, when did the game came out? In 2016 or 15? I don't know. I think the game started developing in 2013, I believe. So correct me if I'm wrong. I'm trying to think of the timeline here that happened with 15. But I know someone will know more better than me with the whole timeline stuff, because you guys, the true hardcore fans of Sqaure, are good at that, and that's why I love them for it, you know? Because the other ones don't care for that shit. They don't. But the true hardcore fans actually do care about that shit, because they actually fans, and they care about the product, and they care about the story, and the characters, and they care about the company, and they care about the people that are in the company that are busting their ass and killing themselves making these games while the higher ups are making money and they're laughing at us. Come on. How many people from Square Enix had to leave because of health? Sink that in. Sink that in. I hope you sink that in. Because that's the state of the company. And it's been like that for years. And that's the state of the mindset on top of the company. Just think about that, guys. It's fucking sad. So, that's it. And I'll see you guys.